Edgetrade was born out of my personal frustration as a trader, paying for multiple services that didn't always fit my needs. It is a result of my vision to create an all-in-one platform that covers flexible yet powerful scanning, accurate shares outstanding and float, quality historical data, news, filings, and a bunch of ever-evolving quality of life features. I'm going to walk through a few of the key parts of Edgetrade, starting with the top of this page. Now on the top left, you'll see a default example for a scanner. If we go into the settings, we can easily create a filter profile. So let's go ahead and let's start building it. So we have price greater than or equal to, we can change that to be between, we'll say between 1 and 15. Now I always thought it was frustrating, the need to have a pre-market and after-hour scanner and all these other different types of scanners, so I built the ability to go ahead and add what we call time slicing. So time slicing essentially says that between 9:30 and the end of the day, we're going to have one profile, and during the other period of time, we're going to have another one. So let's say that during this period of time, we're going to have 1 million as a filter profile for volume, and then between 4 and 9:30, we're going to say 50,000. And that takes away the need immediately to go ahead and need all these multiple scans, etc. And that keeps on going with the ability to even have OR parameters. And so I'm in here going to set up the high percentage. So I want the high percentage on the day, which is the previous close to the high. And we can set that to be 30%. Then I can add an OR parameter. And the OR parameter, I can go into pre-market and say, all right, well, I want to know everything that's moving in the market or in the pre-market. So pre-market to be at least 30%. And just in the spirit of the high percentages, we can easily go to the after hours high percentage and say after hours. And this easy example as to maybe someone wants to see everything that moved versus only the things that are moving at that point in time. And this gives you the ability to go ahead and make a profile that can be used across sessions so that you can focus on trading and have your scanner doing what it needs to do on the side. So here, this is one example. You can easily hit apply. Now there's many other different filters, of course, that go into different categories. You have things related to the current day, the ranges, position and range, etc. You have previous days, where we're trying to marry the have and the use of historical data with the real-time data. And the moment that you do that, you can set up a comparison to be between price and something like yesterday's high. So for example, we can set, we'll go to all, we'll go to price, and we can say where is greater than or equal to another metric. And then here you can say yesterday, so previous day, high. And the moment you do that, now you have unlimited number of flexibility to build a scan based on times that you want criteria to be active, the ability to have OR groups, and many different criteria. We have 300 plus different criteria in the real-time scanner, as well as historical data that is fed from the historical portion of the application, and we'll get into that now. And now we see all the tickers that are meeting that criteria. You can easily go through them, etc. Now some of the key things that you can do on the scanner includes the ability to go back in history and see what was in your scanner on a previous day. So if you click on the time icon, go into yesterday, click out of there, and now you have all the stocks that met that criteria. And if you click on one of these from a previous day, it'll then take the chart back to that day so you can see exactly what had taken place at that time. Some of the other quality of life features, everybody has a stock that they're not supposed to trade. Let's say CGC is one of that stocks. You can right click, exclude it from the component, and it is gone. The goal of that is to simply say, as you're scanning, get rid of some stocks that maybe you have already seen and you've already set aside and say, I'm not going to trade this. Other parts of the application on this page include key stats, where we have manually verified shares outstanding, market cap, shares float, etc. on a daily basis by our team internally, where you have high quality data to make sure that you're not behind. Having to go through 3 different platforms to go find the most accurate float, that is hopefully a thing of the past. Here you also have key stats, gap stats. So on the gap stats section, you can easily see different stats related to how a stock has moved. So get some graphics for it. And here, the same experience as a history, you can easily click on one of these, go back to that day, and then click on reset once you're done reviewing how that stock has performed. That's the scanning experience. Another factor for traders is screen real estate. And so we built the application with that in mind, where you can easily drag and drop different experiences to go ahead and reformat content in whichever way is necessary to fit your trading requirements and needs. Of course, you can make the window more narrow, you can go wider, you can even have multiple layouts. So let's say you wanted to have a layout just for news. You also have the ability to choose whichever columns you'd like to see. And you can easily say, I want to see RVOL, I want to see the dollar volume and the number of trades that have taken place. And so if you hit apply, it'll then be applied. And of course, alongside being able to show them, you can click on any header and see what stock has moved, in this example, in the last 10%. All of this is meant to fit into the screen real estate that you have on your screen alongside your trading platform. The other major feature of the application relates to that history page. Of course, there's filings and financial information you can review, etc. But if we look into the history, this is one key feature that really helps frame a trader's mind to say, I want to know what happens usually when a stock has met X and Y criteria. So going back 15 years, you can set over 1,000 different filters to go ahead and build this page where you can click through different charts that met that criteria. What are the criteria? Here we have last 30 days, price day 1 open between 1 and 15, the gap percentage of 20%, volume 2 million, etc. And you can click through them. Now, the filtering experience is very similar to the top list page. So here you can say, I want to know all the times where a stock has had a day 2 play. And you can go ahead and hit apply, and this is a pretty snappy experience, usually loads within a few seconds. And here, just like that, you have the last 30 days of experience for all the different stocks that met that criteria. Of course, if you want to go back and get more time, you can, right? If you want to, you can easily see this is a 2014. This is a scan that I had done with another user. And here you can see going back 10 years, right? Still a pretty fast experience. And so these are some of the key features of Edgetrade. Of course, we're going to be adding a lot more tutorials on how to use the application and some of the in-depth parts and concepts that you should know when you're going around scanning and historical, etc. But until then, stay tuned.